So good evening everybody, my name is Francesco and I'm Nello Baricci grandson, and with my brother I am taking care of the family winery, and precisely I'm taking care of the logistics and commercial part, the marketing part of the winery. And tonight I am more than happy to share with you, let's say, a very important, a historic course of our family, the Spezzatino, that in English translation is beef stew. So here we go with the ingredients. Here we are with the ingredients: organic celery, carrots, onion, then olive oil and fresh rosemary. Then here we have beef, precisely the shoulder and the rear muscle of the beef. Then obviously we're going to use salt and pepper grain. And then to give more tenderness and more acidity to the beef, we are going to use tomato paste, and obviously, how could we miss red wine? So here are all the ingredients that we do need to make this great course. So let's go. So here we go in the active part of the course. Here we have the vegetable stock. We chopped the onions, the carrots, and celery. And in the meantime, I chopped in bigger pieces the other part of the vegetable, so to make vegetable broth. Here we have the beef that is ready to be seared just for a couple of minutes in this pan, on which I put some olive oil and spread it so to cover all the surface of the pan. So here we are cooking the meat on the pan on a medium flame. It's very important that meat it's getting this kind of gray color. In this way, we are, let's say, inviting water that is inside the meat to get off, and to guarantee to the meat later a better tenderness. We just took out the beef from the pan, and now we are browning the vegetables. And we're cooking them for 5-10 minutes until they don't soften up, and especially the onion is getting gold. What a perfume! It reminds me home. Put together the beef with the vegetables. We're gonna cook them for other 5 minutes, and then we go on. So now it's time for tomato paste. We just put some in this big spoon. We put it on the beef and melt it with the rest of the ingredients. And now, finally, it's time for the most important ingredient, let's say, red wine. So here we go. So now the alcohol of the wine has evaporated, so it's time to put the final ingredients. Salt, pepper. We prefer to put the whole berries instead of grounding them. And then we put 5-6 pieces of the fresh rosemary. And finally, we're gonna cover the meat with the broth that we prepared earlier. So here we go. So now it's all about time and slow cooking. We cover the pan and let the meat cooking for a couple of hours and a half at least, better 3 hours. Just to remind you to check sometimes the cooking, so, and to add the broth when you see it's needed, and then it's just waiting. This is the situation after a couple of hours. Great perfume. So the meat is really tender, as you can see, but it's still a bit raw, so it needs at least half an hour, 45 minutes for cooking. After 2 hours and 45 minutes, we can definitely say that even the internal part of the meat is perfectly cooked, is perfectly done. So now is time to finish cooking without covering the pan, so that the remaining broth can evaporate and then becoming more creamy. After a bit more than 3 hours of cooking, as you can see here, the meat is perfectly cooked, so I heat it up so to accelerate a bit the evaporation of broth, and we're almost ready. So time to taste. So tender and tasty. Obviously I can't reach my grandmother's level, but I think she would be so proud of me. Now it's time to enjoy. Salute!